100%. No droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies, no trolls of any kind. I have a stalker. We all know who he is. He's very blunt about it. He's been banned. He sends his little flying monkeys here. I banned them too. I mean, I don't know what the guy thinks he's accomplishing by harassing me and bugging me and doing all kinds of things. Here's the Cantina mascot. Want to say hi to everybody? Kojak? What you got there, huh? Is that your ball? Huh? You a good boy? I'd be outside, but it's a little bright. Anyway, come on, house. Go to your house. Good boy. Good boy. The reason simply is I don't want to be chasing him around while I'm hanging out with you guys. Anyway, hey, it's Corey. Anyway, what is this about? Oh yeah. So Joe Rogan, if you guys follow him, it's JRE here on YouTube. He puts his shorts on there, talking about how much money Disney's really lost. And hey, Vader fan for life, how you doing? And it's not as much as he thought a day. He chose like 50 million a day. But what they did when his producer was looking at the article that they found, what they did was they divided how much money each park lost, etc., etc. And it probably adds up to about 25 million a day. 250 million a week since COVID and all the lockdowns. Very interesting, and it's in keeping with what I thought. Not as much as Rogan thought, but a lot of money. Nevertheless, if you are an investor, you're doing this. You don't, and they're not making any money on their streaming service. They're not actually gonna start breaking a profit till they have 250 million subscribers. And from what Doomcock and others have said, I could bring up Clownfish TV, Midnight's Edge, my own people. It is unsustainable. I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't. They've already plateaued as far as subscribers. And the reason is this. First off, there are too many streaming services. Okay. Building it from the ground up was a bad idea. They should have bought a streaming service like Tubi, like Rupert Murdoch did, Hey Cinedave. And they didn't do that. They built their own. That's a lot of money. They don't have enough in their catalog as far as children's programming that's new. Now, I know a lot of families have Disney Plus because of their kids. I personally wouldn't. If I've got the physical media, I'm not using Disney Plus. All right, just not. If I can get it on demand, I'm not buying Disney Plus. I can get Clone Wars, all seven seasons on demand. I don't need Disney Plus for it. Likely, they'll probably put The Mandalorian on there eventually. I think what's going to happen is it's going to end up being a la carte. Whatever you want, you just buy it. And it's on. You'll probably have like a code, and everything you bought will be yours, or something like that. But get the physical, get the Blu-rays, get the DVDs if you have VHS and a player. But do that, and the reason is this. If you have it, you don't have to buy it from these people. Okay, this is important. But yeah, they're not, their subscription levels have probably plateaued. Okay, they're not going to be making a profit on Disney streaming until they reach 200 million subscribers, 250 million subscribers, and they will never get there. This is bad. This is very bad. This leads me to believe things have got to start being sold off. Don't be surprised. You can sell off, you know, Pixar. You won't. They won't, but they should. You can sell off Fox and other divisions. If you're going to sell off a studio, it doesn't mean you don't distribute it. It just means you don't own it and you get money from it. All right, Dakari, I want to see what you said. Too many? Yeah, I mean, Sakori, so it's bad. Now, when Rogan put that up there, he was shocked it wasn't as much. I was like, that's about right on course for what I thought. Estimates were before COVID that the parks, which was the lifeblood of Walt Disney Corporation, brought in about 20 million a day. More than that, a lot of money. Now they're losing 250 million a week. And with, California being under the rule of, that fascist dictator governor of theirs, it, it doesn't, I mean, it's opening. Disneyland's opening. But they've got Californians who are soy addicted weirdos anyway, convinced if they go outside, they're gonna get mugged by COVID. I mean, it's like you're not gonna get COVID outside, outdoors, even in a crowd. You're not. You're not gonna get COVID in a horse barn. I don't even think Joe was doing that. I just think he was just putting it out there. I really like his take on things. He's a very easygoing guy. He'd be fun to hang out with. He's had a lot of experiences that lead me to believe he's a very well-rounded dude, if you know what I mean. Joe Rogan we're talking about. Anyway, so there's that. Now, today, Ta-Nehisi Coates, or whatever his name is, who was the writer for the Captain America comic books, he's now taking on Superman, so we all get to be shit on by an angry BLM black guy watching Superman. It won't be Superman. J.J. Abrams hired him for this, for the movies. He, has been writing for Captain America. And Red Skull is an angry vlogger. And he sounds an awful lot like Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson, as you know, Ethan Van Sciver did the illustrations for his first book. And the 10 Rules. And it's a very good book. It really doesn't vary from what Pope Benedict XVI has said. You were born for greatness. All of us were. I don't know what the problem is. But apparently, Ta-Nehisi Coates thinks it's Nazism to be saying that to people. No, it's not. But then I think we have a problem in society right now with people from the millennial generation and the Zoomer generation and narcissism. They have to feel like they see themselves in everything. So when you get Captain America, that's not Captain America. That's Ta-Nehisi Coates. When we get his Superman, it's going to be Ta-Nehisi Coates, not Superman. Okay. They've forgotten their responsibility. And it goes into Star Wars too. How many people really believe that Vice Admiral Gender Studies, Haldo, isn't a representation for Claudia Gray? Raise your hands. Because she wanted to see herself in the movie. A fat, but skinny And at least in somewhat sort of, even though I think that women who color their hair like that and act like that are unhealthy, those are warning colors. Uh, oh, I know. And I'm just, don't even get me started. Just Evergreen College is like, um, it doesn't make any sense to have a character like that in Star Wars at all. Uh, you know, the women who are Star Wars fans were insulted by her. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? Wendy Vega, you must be a newbie. Hi, how you doing? It doesn't make any sense from a storytelling point of view for Star Wars in universe, nor is it uh, kind of, it's insulting to women in general. Uh, you guys know that my husband retired after 30 years as a senior colonel in the Marine Corps. I can tell you I've known a lot of Marine Corps generals and Navy admirals. Rudy was part of SOCOM, ran a fires branch at SOCOM, and his boss, immediate boss, was a Navy SEAL. And the guy who ran SOCOM was a Navy SEAL. All right. I met Admiral Fargo. Um, I met a lot of admirals because the Marine Corps is attached to the U.S. Navy. They're part of the Navy. Okay, so if you are out on base and you go to medical, you go to Navy medical, which is better than Army medical. I'm sorry, it is. Um, and you get a sense of who they are. The women who reach flag rank, be it a general officer or an admiral. Oh, great. Oh, great. Well, welcome aboard, Wendy. Welcome aboard. Um, and women don't act like that. You are a Marine first. You are a naval officer first. You're not, look at me, I'm a pansexual female with purple hair, wearing a purple dress. All right, that's the thing that really just made me go, we go from hardcore, solid leaders like Dodonna and my favorite, General Regan. I know you do, but that's not going to last very long, and I'm pretty sure when the SEALs and the Delta guys get away from that person, they're like, oh, you can fuck yourself. You know, they what happens is when you get into that position where you're training, you are no longer you. You are, if you're training as a Navy SEAL and you're going through buds, you have a swim buddy and you are attached to a group. Your responsibility is to them, period. It doesn't matter if you're red, white, black, yellow, purple, chartreuse spots, you're a plant, okay? It doesn't matter. You're responsible for them, and they are responsible for you. This is how it goes. Ever listen to Marcus Luttrell talk about it? When he talks about his experiences during the massive Operation Red Wing, he will talk about how in the middle of the firefight, one of his guys, I think it was Matt Axelson, and I'm friends with Matt Axelson's brother on Facebook, was shot and he couldn't see. Marcus is bleeding out himself. He's trying to save him. That, all the bullshit, the SJW bullshit, the narcissism goes. It's gone. Okay? It's gone. And what you have left is fighting for each other. Okay? You are a Navy SEAL. You are there for your teammates. You're a Marine. You are there for your squad. Okay? That's it. Okay? You are a woman. You're not a man. You are a sailor. You are a Marine. And because the Army has become so freaking SJW, I don't think they've lost that. I think if Dwight Eisenhower came back and looked at the Army, he'd be like, go back to the drawing board. And from what I've read about General Eisenhower, if he got mad, everybody in the whole building knew. Okay, he had a temper, just like Patton did. Yeah, microaggressions. I'm like, what? So the thing about, and that's the thing that bothered me about Haldo, is you go from hardcore leaders like General Riken, who's one of my favorite characters, and in my own fan fiction, I love writing him. I think he's great. I think you could do a lot with that character. To Haldo, and oh Cinna Dave, you should be happy. I mean, Rudy retired 3 years ago, in 2018. In fact, it was 3 years ago this March, and it's like this. In fact, it'll be 3 years we've been in this house soon. I mean, we were getting everything going. Everything was getting moved out, and we were selling stuff, and you know it. And we're glad. I mean, I don't like going to a Marine Corps ball when I see things that shouldn't be going on. There's the lack of decorum is the thing that bothered me the most. It's some of the stuff I saw young Marines doing, and the last thing we went to, I was very, very, very. It's upsetting. I think a couple of the wives were like, "Are you kidding me?" And it's one of those things where you can't. You just are like, so. But yeah, I mean, then you got Rose Tico, Chairman Mao's fourth wife, lecturing everybody in a side subplot to nowhere, just because they didn't want Finn. I'll be right back. They didn't want Finn to be with Rose because of the damn Raylos. Instead of having, excuse me, I have to do this. Instead of having a good story, we had to do representation. When you are so worried about representation and putting things in that don't matter to the story, you lose the story. You lose the story. And that's what's going on now. So let's go back to Jordan Peterson. He wakes up, sees he's trending, and some angry BLM activist writer who ruined Captain America, and now he's off to ruin Superman because he's woke. White man bad. I'm a this is Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm a loser. You have to respect my loserish. It is a disaster. And when you have somebody like Jordan Peterson telling people, young men especially, and they need to hear it, you were born, you have the potential for greatness. Nothing any different than Pope Benedict telling people you were born for greatness, and somehow that's bad. In what world do we live in? Well, they are token characters. John Boyega pointed that out. It's like, hey, Wendy. Nobody does. That's the thing. Nobody has issues with color. What the hell? I mean, really, what the actual F? I'm serious. I am literally speechless with a lot of all this stuff going on now because I don't understand it. But when you talk to a 17-year-old, a Zoomer, who has, that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Whose parents are not all there, especially the mom, who's wrapped himself up in SJW shit, and you suddenly realize he's looking for an outlet for his own narcissism, and the narcissism wasn't built because he was given too much. Not enough people paid attention to him. Overweight, he's probably gay, no one cares, it doesn't matter. That's between him and God. You know, don't want to be that way, then just be celibate, be chaste. That's all I can say. Okay? But stop fucking making it about you. The problem with Ta-Nehisi Coates, Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland, Daniel Jose Older, Pablo Hidalgo, fucking Kathleen Kennedy, who's the band leader, is this. They honestly think the world revolves around them. Copernicus called, and it doesn't work out that way. Okay? It just doesn't, and we all know that. And I am absolutely sick and tired of it. To the point where when I see someone in my own family doing that shit, I back them up into a corner and I let them have it. The world is not safe. No one gives a shit out there about you. Okay? You're gonna get chewed up and spit out more times than you will ever be successful. Who the fuck do you think you are? Work your ass off. You were born to be great, but I'm not going to give you kudos just for existing. It doesn't work that way. Okay? That's not what it's about. And I'm sick of it. And that's the problem in our culture right now. We have too many people who want to see themselves in everything, running around ruining everything. Here's the problem. It's going to come back and bite them in the ass. Because eventually, us, the normal people, the people who are like, hey Mace is in the house. My buddy. The people like us are gonna strike back. Alright. And that's the bottom line. As many Zoomers who are caught up in the SJW shit, like the one in our family, there are more that are like, we don't really care about this anymore. And it's going to come back and it's going to hurt these people. And I'm sorry to say, but I really don't care. All right? And the reason simply is this. You brought this on yourselves. You pissed everybody off. What did you think was going to happen? What you want? I told a gay guy who was bitching about something. I can't remember what it was. He got really mad at me. A very radicalized gay guy. My gay friends would have been like, let us take care of him. And they would have just squashed him. But anyway, I looked at him and I said, what, you want a parade? Because you're gay. You want a parade? You want us to give you a party? Make it, all right, Denny's Day. We'll pick out a date in the calendar. It'll be a national fucking holiday. Be your day. What the fuck do you want? That's the problem. It's not about anything else but themselves. It's not even about changing the culture. Even though by doing and pulling the shit that they've done, they've changed the culture for the worse. Okay? I can't tell you how many times I've had a radical LGBTQ name caller attack me for being a breeder. That's what they call normal people. Yep, Maze is right. Hey, Demanjanai. So, we have a real problem with narcissism. And, my solution is always toss people into the abyss of the military and let them see that the I in the world doesn't matter in lots of respects. That it's not always about you. Okay? Sometimes it is about you. But let's go through how we got here. We've got Oprah Winfrey lecturing people about taking care of their kids, lecturing people about marriage. She doesn't have any kids and she's not married. Running around waving the flag of victim and she's a billionaire. I wish I could be a victim with that much money. I really, that would be great because I could take care of my family. Everybody has a gift. You might not have a great singing voice. You might not have acting chops. You might not be able to put a sentence together, but you have a gift. Okay? Figure out what it is. It's what you were given. It's what you're supposed to change your little part of the world with. Do something good for somebody. Okay? Your gifts are what make you unique. Here's something that's been lost. I'm bringing God into this. He knows who you are. He knew you before you were born. He knew your name. Okay? That's been lost. So these people dying to be special don't realize they already were. And in their own little ways, they can be. I mean, look at my mom and dad. I mean, my dad didn't go to Hollywood. He didn't become a four-star Air Force general. But he and my mom raised 9 good kids. They owned their own house. They paid for it. They put everybody through, overcoming cancer. Okay? For my issues, overcoming anorexia and overcoming almost dying of pneumonia. Okay, back when I was 19. You can never tell. And what I love about it is these people always think that their lives were so hard. They've never been through anything, but their lives are really hard. Because you didn't get the Rainbow Bright toy. Mommy didn't hug you or she hugged you too much. But they haven't really overcome anything. They've never been to war, a real war. They've never been sick a day in their lives. So they've never had their lives threatened in any way, shape, or form. They've never been around anybody. They've never lost their place to live. They've never had to be without food. Mommy and daddy take care of them. They've never lost anything like a game. Lost a medal. And they don't get it. So what they think is hard isn't hard. It's not even really anything. I mean, going on Twitter and attacking Gina Carano because you didn't like what she said, they've never failed. And you're right. They don't. And these are the things. These are the things that absolutely drive me nuts about these people. The kid I could talk about, he's been through a lot, but it's his parents' fault. But instead of trying to figure it out, he blames everybody else. And to belong, he started following these SJW shit all over the place. Like, the kids' day off so they could protest guns. And nobody in the family gives a shit. They're all, Trump fans, and they're all, members of the National Rifle Association. And I carry, husband carries, cousins carry. And it's like, he's looking for attention. It's all the wrong attention. Counseling is wonderful. Talking to a priest is wonderful. A rabbi, an imam, a spiritual advisor in some way. Yeah, they want special rights, and that's not how it works. And for people like Ta-Nehisi or whatever his name is, Coates, for Justina Ireland, for that Christina Ariel, it's not just special rights. They want to be superior. All right, they want to be superior because they're racists. All right, they're narcissists. Everything is about them. They don't really even care about the problems black people have because you never hear them talk about what's going on in the inner cities. You never hear them talk about uh, the fact that when you talk about inner city crime, it's always, almost always, black on black crime, which is a travesty and horrible. But it is something the left in America has done to a population of people to keep them down. You think welfare was something from the goodness of people's hearts? That's not charity. That's stealing from me to giving to somebody who doesn't have anything in order to keep those people down, but it also keeps me down. See how that works? That's how it works. Okay? I mean, look, I've known girls who've had babies out of wedlock, who've gone on welfare, who don't understand that their lack of morals and their poor behavior did that to themselves. They're trying to prove a point, so they get into women's studies, but they're still getting money from Uncle Sugar. Okay, they're living in public housing. They're getting their, $2,000 a month. And they think it's okay. It's not. It's not okay. All right, they're doing themselves a disservice. They're doing their sons a disservice because weirdly these ladies always have boys. So their boys are growing up all fucking screwed up. And any guy that dates them is put on notice because he's a man. So therefore he's already corrupt and lower on the totem pole. What kind of message is that sending their sons? Very funny, Sakori. Ha ha ha. But this is where this all starts. I'm a victim. All right, what happened? Well, I met this guy at a bar. We went back to his place. I didn't use protection, and he didn't either. I got pregnant, and I kept the kid. Looks like you're a victim of your own behavior. No, it's everybody else's fault but mine. Didn't realize everybody else told you to do that. We didn't, But you gotta think, what kind of messages have women been getting for generations? Gloria Steinem. Oh, well, you learn to fight back. I had 4 brothers and they taught me how to punch. And I knocked more than my fair share of little boys on their asses. And it was a lot of fun. I remember dragging one kid out because he was harassing and doing really disgusting things to this special needs girl in our neighborhood in a car with the door unlocked. So I went over and opened up the door, dragged him up by the scruff of the neck and beat the shit out of him. And he was screaming, he'd tell his mom to go, well, you tell your mom what you were doing. You go tell her. Tell her why. Never heard a peep. My dad watched the whole thing. He was like, but this is a guy that when he was a kid, when he was a little boy, he was really small. And about the age of 13, he shot up to over 6 feet tall. He went like that. And one day he's walking down the street and it was snowing. And he saw one of the kids that used to bully him. The same size he was when he bullied him. Guess what happened to that kid? Dad's chasing him down the street, hitting him with ice balls. Yeah. See, here's the deal, bullies. It always comes back. These people making it about them, attacking Jordan Peterson, Ethan, me, you, everybody, because they want to see themselves represented perfectly in Star Wars, Marvel, DC, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Lord of the Rings, any kind of franchise we love. They can't fucking leave it alone. And the reason is this. They don't want to live in a world where the sun doesn't rise and set strictly for them only. And it doesn't make them special. It makes them bullies. Look what they did to Gina. Look what they do to us every day. Okay, they can't help themselves. They're narcissists. And I'm sorry, but this is a, and it's not a very big group, but they're really, really loud. And they're very, very loud. And they're sociopaths. Think about it. The girls from Rewriting Ripley, when you go through their tweets, and I've gone through a lot of them, they're sociopaths. They're mentally unstable. Okay, they have a personality disorder. They're suffering from erotomania. They don't understand that what they want ruins everything that we loved about Star Wars. When you try to explain that to them, they call you names. You're a racist, sexist, homophobic bigot, which, what the hell does being a homophobe do with Raylo? I'm against bondage. I'm against enabling mental illness. People with these things need help. I'm against abusing women, which is what Raylo is. I'm against ugly men in movies, which is what Adam Driver is. I'm against basically female superiority, even though when you peel back the onion on Raylo, all Ray is a conduit for Kyle Ron's you-know-what. That's it. They don't give a shit about her. Why would they? You understand? This isn't about what the story is supposed to be, not a good story. It's about what they want. Because they see themselves as Ray. They don't give a shit if ultimately in a relationship like that, they be on the losing end. Think about how sick that is. Think about it. All right. Sit back and glory in that weirdness. Okay, because it's bad. It's really, 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 really bad. It's unhealthy. Okay, when I talk about erotomania, I've seen it up close. I've been the victim of women who suffer from it. I've seen actors lose fan clubs because of it. For the newbies, I don't know if you remember who this guy is. The Welsh actor Ioan Gruffudd. He was in Titanic and Horatio Hornblower, and he played William Wilberforce. He had a fan club and reached out to the person who ran it. This lady, seemed like a nice person. He got engaged, and the lady who ran the fan club started attacking his fiance. This is erotomania. This is exactly what the Raylos have done to Adam Driver and his wife and his kid. Wishing death on them, harming them, doxing Daisy for, why? Because they can't separate reality from fantasy. I mean, again, but this goes to the thing that their whole lives have been set either staring at a phone or at a computer. They never went out to play games. Imagination games. They didn't have any, those play kitchens little girls get. Didn't have those. Didn't have Barbies. Didn't have a group of friends that could run around pretending to, anything from cowboys and Indians to pirates and shit, Oh, thank you. And this is what we get from them. Imagining that Daisy and Adam really should be together because there was a non-existent relationship between their characters in Star Wars. Well, faux Star Wars, okay? Because the sequel trilogy isn't Star Wars. It is a dumpster fire. And, you know, a lot of people would disagree, but they don't understand finances. They don't understand movies. Well, yeah, and you're right. I mean, I love Harrison Ford. He's my favorite actor. I collect, if I see a magazine from the old days and there's an interview, I'll buy it off of eBay just to have it. Um, and it's not for any other reason than it's for history's sake. Uh, it's to have these things. Um, Maz and Palpatine. Okay, that'll work. Um, Colonel Palpatine. Um, it's you know, it's not a bad thing to be a fan. It's a bad thing when you can't separate imagination from uh wrinkle. Ew, ew, wrinkled love. Ew. Oh, I know, and that's another thing. They encouraged it. Why? Because they thought it would drive up the box office. I hope my wrinkle my trash compactor uh, stalkers following me, or yeah, I got a few more of his little trolls showing up. I banned them, told them off. Sequel trilogy didn't make any money. The only one that did was The Force Awakens. The rest of the movies didn't even break even hardly. Solo lost $250 million. Combined, the investment that Disney put in to Lucasfilm and Star Wars was about $7 billion. Net box office was about $2 billion. And I don't even count, because they're not even telling us what publishing has done, because it's bad. Okay? So, a trashy guy, go fuck off. Okay? You don't know what you're talking about. And it's not that I go and talk to Doomcock about this. I don't. I went and looked myself. It's out there. Just because you don't know the difference between net box office and gross. I can't imagine what you did when you got your first paycheck. How much money do I get? Is this, well, gross is what you were paid. Net is what you actually get. Okay? Oh God. Wow, that would be my kid, because I wouldn't let them have them. All right? Here's a funny story. Rudy and I were going to South Carolina from Virginia. And we're going down the road. And we're outside of Fredericksburg. And the silver minivan goes flying past about 90 miles an hour. This woman, like Batman, driving past, just zooms past. And Rudy and I are in his little car, and we're laughing. Because as she goes past, you can see on the videotape machine, the kids are watching SpongeBob. So I called her minivan. There goes the mommy rocket. Cause she was going about 90. That stretch of I-95 is patrolled by airplanes. So I hope she got a big fucking ticket in the mail. Okay? Because I was laughing. The only time I ever saw people going that fast, it was going towards DC, but it was a black Dodge Charger. It was a black SUV of some kind and a Ford F-150. And it looked like a scene out of a Vince Flynn book. Mitch and the guys going at breakneck speed down I-95 to, Mitch Rapp to, disarm a nuclear bomb going off in DC. I was going, wow, because it was like right outside of Stafford where we lived. And Rudy's like, Jesus. And I'm like, those were all government cars. Oh yeah, we did too. I bring my Breyer horses. I bring my Star Wars things, and my niece to bring her Barbies. You know, but yeah, you guys. I mean, we're living in a very weird time right now, where people who should actually be seeking medical help and clinical help are getting patted on the back, ears, scratched. Here you go. There you go. Anyway, I did want to talk about that. Go watch the Joe Rogan, the last video he put up here about how much money Disney lost a week. This is why they're in trouble. And this is another proof positive that their shares are inflated. They've actually they've used money they borrowed from us to buy back shares to keep their stocks inflated. I don't know why. Raise your hands if you think that should be illegal. I do. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta get some food and let the dog out to pee. And I gotta go grocery shopping. So I'll see you guys. FICA? Federal? Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, FICA. You know, people, I mean, so the people who are trying to use uh, gross box office, and they actually think they know what they're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You really, really don't. I mean, if I can't look at a paycheck and if I can't look at the paycheck and tell the difference between what I was paid and what I net, which is what I get back, then whatever. Okay. If you can't look at the difference between this movie made $2.7 billion, how much did it cost to make? How much it cost to market? What do the theaters get to take back? What's left over is what the company gets back, which isn't nearly as much as it looks. Okay? The movies are there to drive business at the parks. The parks are closed right now. Movie theaters are barely opening up. Now, do you understand? Gross box office is what the people out there in the media use to lie about how much money the movies actually made. That's not what the movie made. Okay? George Lucas didn't make any money on how much Star Wars made. He made the money on the merchandise. Disney should be making billions on Kyle Ron dildos or whatever Raylos want. They can't even sell those. Think about it. SD merchandise doesn't sell. The High Republic is a joke. But you go on and believe whatever. Yep. Federal Income Tax Contribution Act. But you go on and believe the gross numbers. And be stupid, okay? This is why my troll is obviously single. No women could stand being around him. I gotta go. I'll see you around the galaxy. Behave, be good, and let not your hearts be troubled. We're winning this thing. And remember to pre-order those Legends books that are being re-released, because it'll give Disney an opportunity to see they can't sell what Kathy wants to sell, but they can sell good Star Wars. See you around the galaxy.